Good morning, dear hearts. We are at lesson 10, and please subscribe. And we are already having a repeat or reinforcing lesson. Lesson 4, and we were told when we did lesson 4 that this is a major lesson and it will be repeated in different forms. Today is that first repetition, because lesson 4 was these thoughts do not mean anything. And of course, I already had framed it as my thoughts because I think it's so important that we immediately own and take responsibility for our thoughts. And today's lesson is the follow-up, and it is my thoughts do not mean anything. So we are going a little bit deeper, which is the idea of the course, to dig a little bit deeper, to excavate our fear thoughts, and that we might completely release them. There's a great line in this lesson that I do love, and it says, the emphasis is now on the lack of reality of what you think you think. So what we think are ideas about the world around us. But what we're being told is that we're really not thinking about anything. And the reason we're not thinking about anything, and it says my mind is a blank in this lesson, and that this understanding is a prerequisite for us to acquire vision, not just seeing, but vision, which is from a higher mindset. But the reason that my thoughts do not mean anything is that there's no foundation for my thoughts. My thoughts are, if they're fear-based, well, then they're not based on anything because fear isn't real. And even my loving thoughts, and I do have loving thoughts, we all do already have loving thoughts. As we've been told, they're only a shadow, just a mere shadow of the light that will come into our minds and will illuminate our thoughts and everything around us. So we are really coming from the perspective of having no thoughts and to disregard all of these thoughts, because if they have no real foundation, they certainly do not mean anything. The exercises for today are to be done with our eyes closed, and it suggests that when we close our eyes, we sort of imagine a parade of ideas and images going by, and that each one of these images that go by says, my thought about this does not mean anything. So my thought about elephants do not mean anything. My thoughts about coffee do not mean anything. My thoughts about the world do not mean anything, because all of these thoughts that I'm having about these different subjects are based in a fear mindset, and so they cannot possibly mean anything. There's a reinforcement to my thoughts do not mean anything, today's lesson, that to repeat to ourselves and to say that this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. That's really important. From all that I now believe, because this is where I want to release. And as those of you who have been with me before know, that I will translate release into real ease. It's a real easy place we're headed to, where we can have vision and our thoughts will indeed mean something, because they will all be based in the foundation of truth and love and peace and joy. Until then, my thoughts do not mean anything. So that's it for today. I hope this helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. I do respond. And please be here tomorrow. Namaste.